We are live. What's up, my friend? Abby here, and welcome to our final writing session of our June virtual writing retreat. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you have joined today for this final writing session of the month. Don't worry, we're going to be doing more live writing sessions in the future. This is just for the June writing retreat. This is the final group writing session live together on YouTube. So I'm so glad you were able to join. First things first, tell me if you can see me and hear me okay. Type in the chat. Tell me how it looks, how it sounds. I'm so happy you guys are all here. I'm going to chat for a few minutes while everybody jumps on the live. If this is your first time joining one of these Write With Me live streams, welcome. Don't worry that this is the last session. If this is the first one you've been able to join, that is totally okay, because creativity is a constant practice. It is a repeated showing up for yourself. It's about finding the love and the joy in what you create. So that can happen anytime. It doesn't have to be in a 30-day window. However, that's what we've been doing for the whole month of June. And that's what we do every June on this channel, as we have a virtual writing retreat together and devote ourselves to 100% focus on our creative projects for 30 days in a row. And everyone has their own goal. It's super fun. It's been great. My goal has been not really so much word count related, or even project related. For me, what I felt like this June was that I needed to write what I felt like writing when I felt like writing it. And I know that sounds so vague, but for a person like me who is very structured and very scheduled most of the time, it's kind of a interesting, like it really feels like embracing the retreat. We're embracing the relaxation element of this writing retreat, to just let myself write what I feel like writing whenever I feel like writing it. So there have been a lot of things that have popped up in my schedule that have taken me away from writing, because I'm publishing a new book, The Other World. If you haven't heard about it, check out my channel. My recent videos are all about it. And I have a new author vlog coming soon with lots of updates about it, which I'm super excited to share. But that has kind of taken away my attention from writing a lot this month. So I've been trying to show up whenever I can, and these writing retreat sessions have really helped me to focus and take that little window of time when I can and sit down and write something. So I'm so glad you all are here, hopping on the live stream. Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining right now, don't worry, we haven't started yet. We're going to start in just a minute. We're going to start our first writing sprint, and the way this writing session is going to be structured is we're doing 4 writing sprints, 25 minutes on, 5-minute breaks in between, to chat about our stories. I will answer some questions that pop up in the chat. And for the most part, we're just sitting together, writing together, super chill. Hopefully you have something yummy to drink. I have a lovely cup of tea, of course, in an aesthetic mug that matches my whole cottagecore theme here. So hopefully you're ready to write. I am ready to write. I'm working on a project that has actually been sitting for a while. But I'm working on rewriting it and adding a new perspective. And it's been a fun exploration, just very creative and different. So I'm really excited to be working on that today. I'm writing a new chapter, and I'm kind of repurposing a chapter that was already there, but I'm making a different point of view. So it's going to be an interesting process. It's not quite like strictly writing, but it's definitely involves a lot of creativity. So we're going to get started. I'm going to set up my timers. Oh, super chat just came in. Thank you so much to Christina. I can't believe it's the last session today. I missed June already. Thank you so much for this whole month. Oh, you're so welcome, Christina. I'm so happy that this writing retreat has been joyful and creative for you. And if you're new around here on the channel, we do writing sessions every month. So I usually do 1 per month at least. Write With Me live streams like this. June is the only month where we do them like twice a week. So it's been a lot of writing sessions this month. But yes, we will continue to do them in the future. So I hope you will be here for that. Okay. I'm going to start a sprint in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can join the Discord by joining my Patreon at any level. And the link to that is in the description box below this video. Super fun, especially if you're like feeling kind of sad because this writing retreat is wrapping up and you wish that you had that conversation and camaraderie every day and could do writing sprints like this with a group every day. That's where it's happening, is in my Discord. So join my Discord by joining my Patreon at any level, and the link is below this video if you want to check that out. Okay, I'm going to join the writing sprint with 0 words because I'm starting a new chapter. And yeah, let's get started. I'm going to set my timer. Feel free to set your own timer, but here we go. There's timer number 1. Sprint number 1's finished. Great job, guys. I hope it went well for you. Type in the chat and tell me how it went. I'm just getting started with this chapter. I had an idea last night for like the opening of it, but then I realized that I had written one line of an opening before I walked away from it last time. So now I'm rolling with the old opening and finding a way to include the new opening later in the chapter. So yeah, it's going good. Great sprint, guys. Looks like you guys had a great productive sprint. Awesome. Let's see, I wrote 271 words. And now we're going to take a short break and I'll answer some questions and then we'll get into our second sprint. Let's see. Adrian Andrew asked, have you ever written a screenplay? Can you give me advice on how to write one? I have dabbled in screenwriting. I have not completed a screenplay yet, but I am working on a few screenplays. I'm actually adapting 100 Days of Sunlight into a screenplay, which has been really interesting. I would say that writing a screenplay is probably a different experience than adapting a screenplay from a novel to screenplay format, because with adapting a novel, the thing that surprises me the most is how much you have to cut out. And of course, it's always painful to kill your darlings, right? But it's a different sort of creative process because you're finding ways to take certain scenes, take multiple scenes and like merge them and make them a different scene, a new scene. Like, how could this piece of narration and this piece of dialogue maybe be combined so that I don't have to have narration? So there's different ways to sort of look at it. But as far as writing a screenplay from scratch, I would say that you're going to want to plot the characters and the story the same way you would a novel, just finding creative visual ways to show your audience what is happening, what the characters are feeling, through their actions, through their expressions, through their dialogue, rather than through a lot of internal thought. But of course, it depends. If you're doing narration, voiceover narration, you might want to include some thoughts of the character. Writing in More sent a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. You asked, what is the best way to write a flashback? I actually have a video all about flashbacks. I highly recommend checking that out. If you type in on YouTube, Abby Emmons flashback, it should be the first one that comes up. But in that video, I talk about how the best way to write a flashback is to make sure that you have a clear trigger and a clear impact. So what I mean by that is a reason we go into the flashback, and it's very clear why we're going into this flashback, and then a impact that it has on the story going forward because of what we just saw from the past. There are lots of great examples of this in books and film, and I recommend whenever you see a flashback that really catches your attention, that you're like, oh, that was really good. Like, that made sense. That changed the way I see the story going forward, and I understood why I was going to the flashback. Every time that happens, whether you're watching something, reading something, try to study it. Like, take note of that. And what is it that the writer did that made it feel so natural and so smooth? That's basically how I've learned to write smooth flashbacks, is by studying my favorite flashbacks in stories and noticing what the writer gave me, what they held back, and what made me really want more of this past, this look into the past. My own book, 100 Days of Sunlight, shameless plug, is a good example of flashbacks done right, because there's a lot of flashbacks in that story and very clear triggers, very clear impacts on the story. Hannah Stanley asked, how do I know when I'm done with plotting and ready to move on to the actual draft? That's a great question. I would say that you know you're done plotting when you feel confident enough to start drafting. And this might be before you even have the plot finished. Like, you might not even finish the outline. A lot of times I don't finish my outline before I start writing, because I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel confident enough to go into chapter 1 or chapter 2, and I don't necessarily need to have the entire thing figure it out. Because what I've discovered through my own process is just that as I start writing, a lot of times my outline changes because of the new ideas that come to me as I'm drafting. So it's good to leave some room, some breathing room, and not paint yourself into a corner too much with your outline. It completely depends on your process, though, so you have to find what works best for you. But I would say when you feel confident, like, let's go, let's get started. I want to start jumping into this draft. Just do it. See what happens. And I think it's good to follow that feeling, that urge of creativity. Yeah, Kate said the flashbacks in 100 Days of Something are so beautifully done. Thank you. Yes, I do love the flashbacks of that book. I had so much fun writing them, and I've had so many people tell me that the flashbacks are their favorite part, which is so interesting. Anyway, we're talking too long. Let's go into our next sprint. I'm going to set up another sprint in the Discord, and in 25 minutes, we will have another break. So reset your timers. Thank you guys for the super chats. Always means so much to me, and your support goes directly to helping me keep this channel alive and helping me do what I do, which is I'm so grateful for that. Okay, let's set our timers and good luck. Sprint number 2. Let's go. 2. Sprint number 2 is done. Good job, guys. You're doing amazing. I'm so glad you're still here, still writing strong. Tell me in the chat how this writing sprint went for you. Hopefully it went well. Mine went well. Okay, so 6:05. Oh, I never joined the sprint. I thought I joined in Discord. I guess I didn't. Whatever. Up to 605 words for this chapter. Yay! Okay, looks like you guys had a wonderful, productive sprint. Awesome. Great job, guys. Super chat just came in. Thank you so much to Castor Lamb. What is the best way to shut down the perfectionist brain and just get the dang writing done? That's a really good question. And I definitely struggled with this because I'm very much a perfectionist in everything I do. So I know the struggle. It's hard. It's very hard. But I think what has helped me to kind of shut down the inner critic and the perfectionist is to just focus on the play and the joy of the art of writing. And I feel like for myself anyway, when I'm moving away from perfectionism, it's always like when I'm moving towards joy and towards fun and play and creativity. So if you can think of it as like two different directions, like inner critic, perfectionist, stressing out is the one direction, and then creative play and fun and joy is the other direction. That's personally how it feels for me, and probably a lot of Enneagram 1s when you're like moving in those two different directions. So I would say anything that feels like it makes the process more fun, more enjoyable, more like playtime, embrace that and lean into that, because that helps to silence the inner critic a lot. Another thing you can remind yourself is just that you can go back and fix this later. Like, this is not the final draft at all. And I think the more you edit and the more you rewrite and the more you feel comfortable rewriting, the more you'll feel confident in yourself and your own abilities, that it doesn't have to come out perfect the first time, because you will make it perfect eventually. And it's a long journey. So you can just kind of enjoy every process, every step of that journey. Percy and Zozo asks, I feel like most of my sentences are a bit too long. How do I make them shorter or split them up? When I do it, it sounds weird. Well, does it really sound weird, or is that just because you're used to seeing really long sentences? Like, because short sentences, I mean, can be a writing style. Like, you can write in a style that has really short sentences and have it still feel natural and snappy and fun. And that can be part of your voice, part of your writing style, or the voice of your character. So what I find fun to do is just to experiment with different voices. And some of them will be more sparse and snappy, and others will be more descriptive. And that's not like good or bad writing. It's like just a different style. So play around with it, I'd say, and get feedback. I just got a super chat again from Cindy. Thank you so much for the super chat. It means so much to me. Ava asks, do you have any advice on how to figure out my character's misbelief? Yes, I have a whole video on how to figure out your character's misbelief, and I would highly recommend checking that out. It's on my channel. If you type in Abby Emmons misbelief, it should be the first one that pops up. And in that video, I go through my process of finding your character's misbelief using your theme. So you take the theme of your story, you flip it upside down, turn it into a lie, and that becomes your character's fatal flaw. So I go deeper into that process in that video, but check it out because it's quite a little process, but it's very straightforward, and it's pretty fun to do. You can also get misbelief ideas from studying different like personality typing systems, like the Enneagram is a wealth of misbelief ideas if you are kind of running dry on inspiration and trying to come up with a realistic fatal flaw to give your character. The Enneagram is a great place to start. I also have a video on that. Let's see. I'm going to answer one more question and we'll get into our next sprint. Writing It Right asks how to balance quality and quantity while drafting your novel. I would say focus way more on quality than quantity, because it doesn't matter if it takes you a month to draft or a year, right? Like, the way I look at it is, for myself, like, I want what I write to be the best that I've written so far in my life. So however long it takes me to achieve that is fine. There's no correct timeline for that. So I would say write your best and write at your own pace. Whatever feels like this is a good pace for you, that's the pace you should be writing. You are exactly where you need to be. Okay, so don't try to compare yourself with other people's quantities, because their quantity will look different and their quality will look different. So, to me, I'd rather spend a year writing a really quality draft of something than rush through it all in a month and have to rewrite it from scratch because it wasn't really what I was trying to achieve. So that's my personal view on it. You have to find your own groove, find your own style. I'm going to answer one more question because a super chat came in from Tamara Marie. Thank you so much. I have a new book idea, but the idea is in a different genre than what I usually write. Do you have any tips for writing a new genre? I would say just dive right in, right? Just enjoy it. Enjoy writing it. Enjoy playing with this genre. I was actually thinking about this the other day, how when we're little kids and we like start writing or drawing, doing different creative endeavors, we never stop and think like, well, this is unlike anything else I've ever done before. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I'll be any good at this. And no little child has that hesitation of like, oh, what if I can't do this new creative thing? They just do it. They just like plunge right into it with reckless abandon and creativity. And it's so cool to watch that, because that's what we're all supposed to be doing. I really believe that we should all be tapping into that childlike creativity and just going for it and see what happens, because everybody does that at some point. You have to start somewhere, everybody starts somewhere. So I would say just dive right in, have fun with it. Pretend you're a little kid again with your notebook, just trying something new for fun. It doesn't have to come out perfect, and it doesn't have to look like anybody else's thing. In fact, it shouldn't, because it's your thing. So hopefully that gives you the confidence to go for it, because I think trying new genres is so much fun. Okay, let's get into our third writing sprint. I'm going to set my timer again. And this time I'm actually going to remember to join the Discord. Okay. 605. Okay. So sprints running in the Discord. Feel free to join there if you wish. But otherwise, stay on the live stream, and we're going to do another sprint. 103. How did it go? Tell me in the chat. From the home stretch, guys. One more writing sprint, but first we're going to take a short break and I'm going to answer a few questions. So it looks like your third sprint went well. We're going into our last one next. So if you've just shown up, you still have time to join us for one last sprint. But it looks like this one went well for you guys. Amazing. Let's see, I got up to 802 words. I spent a lot of time thinking during that sprint. So I only wrote 197 words, but like I was saying before, it's more about quality than quantity. So if you haven't written a lot of words, don't worry. The point is just to show up for yourself and enjoy, have fun. Super chat just came in. Thank you so much. From Dark Solid X. Abby, I'm writing in present tense in first person, but kept accidentally going into past tense. Should I rewrite it all in past tense to make it easier? It can definitely be difficult switching between these two, especially if you're used to writing past tense. It can be hard to get used to present. But I would say whatever feels right to you and whatever feels natural. If you feel constricted by present tense, then I would recommend trying for past tense, because there is different stylistic things you can do with past tense that you can't do with present tense, because you're kind of reflecting upon past events. So you can jump around a little bit more with linear timelines and things like that. So I would recommend going for whatever feels the most comfortable for you, because there's really it's such a preference thing. It should be what is the most fun for you to write, and it seems like you enjoy past tense more, so maybe that would be better for this story particularly. But you can also just write it with with switching back and forth and catch those mistakes later in the editing process, or the rewriting process rather. Anastasia asked, how would I approach reworking an old story? I love this question because I do this so much, and actually I'm in the process of reworking an old story right now as we're on this live stream. What I would first do is make a list of all the things you really love about the story. This is just for your own reference. Like, what are the strong points? What are the strengths of this story? Because there's something about it that makes you want to come back to it. So is it the characters, or the themes, or the character arcs, or maybe the vibes, the setting? What are all those things about it that are like its strong points that you find yourself thinking about and wanting to come back to? And then after you've made that list, I would make another list of all of the weak points. Okay, the things that you would change if you could. That if you could snap your fingers or wave a magic wand and have those things be different, what would those things be? And these two lists will work as kind of a revision guide as you go through and rework this old story. And I would also say to just be open to new opportunities, be open to new ideas, crazy ideas, things that you never thought of before. Maybe consider changing the genre, or consider adding some new characters, or consider adding a trope that you're a sucker for. That's one of my favorite things to do with reworking an old story, because it just makes me more excited to work on it if I add some element that I know I love. So yeah, lots of ways to do that. Check out my video on my channel about brainstorming if you want to see more ideas on that. Allie K sent a super chat. Thank you so much, Allie. Returning to my story after a year of school, anything you recommend for jumping back in? That can be difficult for sure, to jump back in after a long time away. But I would say and like I've been kind of reiterating throughout this whole live stream, to find those things that you love about your story and that you really enjoy and genuinely have fun writing. That to me is the most important part of writing, is that you love it. So I would say find those things that you love, that feels like eating comfort food to come to this story and work on it. Because if it feels like work, and it feels like school, and it feels like something that you have to really push yourself through, then it's not going to embody your heart and soul, right? You're not going to be able to pour your heart and soul into it. So I would recommend doing whatever it takes to make this story or make this project or make your new project, if you're working on something new, something that feels like comfort food. Like it's just the most enjoyable, like comforting, happy, joyful experience to step into the world of this story and play with it. And I would also say don't set any expectations or pressure yourself to do anything in any particular time frame, especially if you're coming back to it after a long time away. It's good to just be gentle with yourself and your creativity and just see what comes out of it. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Another super chat came in. Thank you so much to Gail Russ. Thanks to what I've learned from you, my first novel, A High Courage by Gail Piner, was #1 in 6 Amazon categories this weekend. Thank you so much. You rock. That is amazing, Gail. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. That is so exciting. You should be so proud of yourself. I'm so happy that my videos have helped you to achieve this amazing milestone in your writing career. And it's only uphill from here, you guys. You are going to be so spectacular. I have a great feeling about it. And everybody on this live stream, just know that you are laying the foundation for your author career and your author dreams to come true. Like everything is going to be amazing. It's so exciting. Okay. Another super chat from Allie. Thank you so much. Wrote 2 short plays that were performed on stage and 2 short stories that were picked up by a TV pilot while on break, trying to find the right frame of mind for this story. Wow, that's so amazing. Congratulations. That must be really an amazing feeling to see your stories like come to life before your eyes. I mean, that's one of my ultimate dreams. So that's amazing. Congrats. And also a super chat from Alaya. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Thank you. Thank you all so much. You're amazing. Okay, we're going to go into our 4th and final sprint. I feel like that's such a good, uplifting, joyful note to end on as we go into our final sprint together. So thank you guys for sharing your stories and sharing a piece of your journey with me and with the community, for being here in the community. It means so much to me. Okay, let's set our timers for our final sprint. I'm going to start one more in the Discord. So feel free to join over there if you are in the Discord. Otherwise, hang out here on the live stream. And let's get into our last sprint. Okay, guys, good luck. Finish strong. Let's do this. Boom! You did it! Yay! We did it! Oh my goodness. Amazing work, guys. I hope that was a fantastic final sprint. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a pat on the back. You should be super proud of yourself, super happy with the progress that you've made, and for staying to the end of this live stream. You're amazing. I'm so glad that you could make it to this session because, like I said, this has been the final session of the June writing retreat together. However, the fun continues in the Discord and on my channel. Going forward, we're going to be having Write With Me live streams every month as per usual. So if this was your first time here and you enjoyed it, I'm so glad you came and joined us and wrote with us today. So we're going to be doing Write With Me live streams ad infinitum on this channel once a month. So stick around for that. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those. If you want to do writing sprints every day in the Discord and chat with all the writers in this amazing community, you can join that by clicking the link below this video, joining my Patreon at any level. You can get access to the Discord. So I will quickly jump into Discord and add my words. 1077. I'm really happy with the progress I made today. Even though I only wrote 1,000 words, it was a good session. Super happy with what I have so far, and I'm excited to write more of this chapter. I don't know if I'm going to write more today, but we'll see. But yes, so stay tuned because lots of great content is coming to the channel in July and over the course of the summer as I publish my new book, The Other World. I'm so excited to share this book with you guys. Some of you have already read it because you're on the ARC team, and there's actually still ARC reading opportunities. You can still join the ARC team from now until publishing date, which is September 19th. So all throughout the summer, you will be able to check out my video on my channel about the ARC reading opportunities and join the ARC team. I would love to have you on board. So you can learn more about that on my channel in my video on ARC reading. So check that out. And otherwise, I can't wait for you guys to read the book. It's on Goodreads, so go add it on Goodreads. Quick update about the pre-orders. I told you guys that I was going to have pre-orders available by July 1st. There's been a slight delay with that, unfortunately, so they won't be available July 1st, but I will keep you updated on when the pre-orders will be available. So I'm going to post it in the chat. Join my email list, which I just posted in the chat. If you join my email list, you will receive an update as soon as pre-orders go live for my new book, The Other World. So make sure you're on that list. If you try to sign up and it says you're already on, then you're good to go. I will be sending you an email message as soon as pre-orders are live, and you can snag your copy of The Other World, whether that's in ebook, paperback, or hardcover format. Super excited. It's also going to be available in audiobook format, and I have more updates about that coming soon. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I can't wait for you to read this book and hold it in your hands and have it on your shelf. It's so exciting. But yeah, so I'm going to be posting an author vlog soon with some behind the scenes stuff about this book. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the good content coming this summer. And thank you again so much for joining me for this live stream and for all the other live streams, for joining me and being part of this June writing retreat. I love you all so much, and I can't wait for all the good things to come. Happy writing, my friend. And as always, rock on.